So I know it seems like everyone and their mother has a podcast these days. Don't get me wrong, I love podcasts, but considering how many people have been doing them lately, I just feel like there had to be money in it. And so in today's video, I'm going to try and produce my very first podcast episode using just my microphone and Riverside FM. And together, we're going to figure out how hard or easy it is to start a podcast. And we'll also talk about different ways that you can monetize your audio-based content. And so let's jump into it. So how exactly do you start a podcast and how can you monetize it? Step number one, you guessed it, pick a niche. Now, before you cancel me for saying the niche word again, by niche, I really mean you want to pick your podcast style. So is it going to be like a solo discussion kind of podcast? Are you going to do interview style content? Are you going to be focusing on educational topics? Or is it going to be a storytelling style podcast? Because you know, I love me some true crime content. Step number two, planning. For example, I notice a lot of podcast creators like to plan out their topics in advance. Now, when it comes to scripting, I know some people like to do outlines, some people like to just script out the entire episode. So at the end of the day, it's what works for you. Now, once you have this figured out, the next thing you need to do is to set up your equipment. Something I particularly like about podcasts is that unlike YouTube, you can truly get started with very few things. If you're sticking to the traditional voice-only podcast, really all you need is a good microphone and your laptop. So based on my research, some of the most popular podcasting microphones are the Shure MV7, Blue Yeti, different types of Rode mics. Some of them can definitely be on the pricier side. However, all in all, it is still cheaper than investing in, let's say, like a DSLR camera plus a microphone plus lighting, like the things that you often have to invest in if you're starting a YouTube channel. And obviously, if you don't yet have the funds to invest in a proper microphone, you can always get started with just your headphones, or you can actually also record on your iPhone. However, if you do have the funds to invest in proper equipment, I would definitely recommend getting a proper microphone. And today I'm actually finally getting the microphone that I've been wanting for a very long time. What do you think? Does it look cool? Yeah. The star of the show has arrived. The star of the show has arrived. It's the legendary Blue Yeti. This thing is like as big as my head. So what tools do you use to record and produce your podcast? Turns out there are quite a few tools out there. And in today's video, I'm going to be using Riverside FM, which is an all-in-one web-based platform designed for recording high-quality audio and video content. It is one of the most popular tools among podcasters, interviewers, and content creators, and I can totally understand why, because they offer so many great features that will make your life easier. For example, you can locally record your episodes, screen sharing, which is perfect if you do webinars. They also simplify the process of inviting your guests to your podcast. You can also use the AI transcriptions, which will make your content more accessible to a wider audience. They have the text-based editor, automatic captions, teleprompter, AI show notes, text overlays, and a lot of other really fun features. I've been using Riverside for the last couple of weeks, and I found it pretty beginner-friendly. That's why I'm so glad that Riverside has decided to partner with me in this video, so make sure to use code Christina's SH to get 15% off of your subscription. So one thing I forgot to mention about recording, I mean, if you've produced content before, you probably know, and that you want to make sure you're avoiding like large rooms with like tile floors, say noodles, or giant flat surfaces. So let's just say recording a podcast like in your kitchen or your bathroom is probably not going to be the best idea. And this is why I'm glad that I actually have carpet in my office, because this is perfect for sound isolation. Step 4, start recording. Okay, it's finally showtime. Today I'm going to be interviewing my friend and fellow creator Kennedy, who started her own financial education podcast about a year ago. And we're going to talk about what it takes to run a successful podcast. All right, let's press record. Yeah, Kennedy, with that said, tell us a little bit more about, what inspired you to start a podcast. Step 5, editing. Now, if you've ever edited your own content, you probably know it can be a little bit cringy because most of us don't like listening to ourselves. You're probably gonna mess up a lot, but that's okay because that's what editing is for. And Riverside actually has a text-based editor, so that's gonna save me a lot of time and I don't have to listen to myself, which is great. They also have AI features that automatically remove awkward pauses and filler words. My favorite tool, however, has to be Magic Clips, which automatically generates vertical clips with captions that you can repurpose on other social media channels.
The name of the podcast is called The Silver Spoon Podcast.
And I swear, if I didn't look so gnarly that day, I would have totally posted them on YouTube Shorts and Instagram. Which, by the way, go follow me on Instagram because I would love to be friends. All right, I just finished editing, so it's time to upload my episode on Spotify. I'm nervous. Upload. All right, now let's finally talk about how exactly do you monetize your podcast. So one of the most popular ways for creators to monetize their content is through sponsorships.
This episode is brought to you by NordVPN.
Today's video is brought to you by vidiq.com.
Go to ZocDoc.com/darkhistory.
So it is probably going to be one of the most straightforward ways, but obviously that one can be a little bit tough because you do need to build an audience and reach a certain level of success with your podcast first before you start getting sponsorships. Another simpler way to monetize your podcast is through affiliate marketing. This is also a great way for people to monetize their podcasts. If you talk about different products or services or mentorship programs, most of them will have an affiliate program. So it is a really great way for you to start making money without relying on sponsors. The third very popular way to monetize your podcast is through memberships and subscriptions, which means that you can offer your audience premium content through platforms such as Patreon. Lastly, I noticed a lot of people have been able to make additional income by repurposing their content, where they would produce a YouTube video and then export the audio and turn that video into a podcast. So this one is going to be perfect if you have one of those video podcasts. I notice a lot of people do that, which is really smart because you can make money from both platforms from literally the same piece of content. And then you can also, depending on the type of content you create, you can also technically turn a lot of those audio recordings of videos into blog posts. And especially if you include affiliate links, that is literally yet another way to monetize your content. And if you wondering how exactly can you repurpose your podcast or a video and turn it into a blog post, I actually made an entire video about repurposing, which I'll include in one of these corners, but pretty much it is fairly easy to do so with AI these days. So yeah, make sure to check out this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you're thinking about starting a podcast and what would it be about. Also, don't forget to hit that like button because it really helps me grow here on this YouTube channel. And if you like videos about side hustles, passive income, and entrepreneurship, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I release new videos every Wednesday. In fact, you can actually go ahead and check out another one of my videos right now. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this one. So yeah, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!